Alright. Alright guys, we're getting into this video. Sean Lester got karma so hard. And we're doing Maple Story dailies. Let's start this over.
Today's topic, Shallon Lester. Guys, I actually had to delete the original video just because it omitted some important information, so I'm redoing it. Based off some of the research I did, I believe that Shallon may be lying about the whole story, right? And it seems disingenuous for us to react to that story and have our take on it when it may be based on completely on a fabricated story. So I will present those ideas for you. You can take it how you want, whatever you want, and then you'll also see me and Preach's reaction to the original story. Now, we've covered 2 videos on Shallon. She's one of those YouTubers that has some of the worst takes I've ever seen on some topics. On other topics, she's got pretty decent takes. But she got exposed.
Who?
Did you see the video that the guy did?
No. Who?
I think it was D'Angelo Wallace.
Oh yeah, I saw this dude. She was saying a bunch of lies about him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and he got the receipts and stuff like that.
Yeah, so she got exposed for basically making up stuff about celebrities on her videos, claiming she had inside sources, but things that could be easily disproven with online Google searches.
Here's some things that I know about Ellen. She is so mean to that wife of hers. What Ellen did to her allegedly.
This is tricky because we could double up or get out of range, but we don't want to miss this square. How loud are these levels, by the way?
Allegedly,
Test,
that was
test,
always so
test,
bad was that
test.
she refused to let this woman have a baby.
But the issue
Put
with
it on a
that
little
is
bit.
that's just flat
Okay.
out wrong. Like when she said it, it didn't sound like
All
a
right,
real thing to me.
that seems
so I
good.
did
Or we
bit
can go a
of
little bit higher,
research.
too.
Not only did I find this clip from Ellen explaining that her wife Portia doesn't want kids.
Hold on.
No, Portia doesn't want kids. She doesn't like the
Let's try
squealing
that.
when they're in a pool. That high-pitched
Okay.
squealing of
Okay,
joy
okay.
that they have.
I also found this quote from Portia herself in Out Magazine saying, "You have to really
Okay,
want to have
that
kids,
should be
and
good.
neither of us did. So it's just going to be
Ooh.
me and Ellen and no babies.
Oh
But we're
my
the best
God.
of friends, and married life is blissful. It really is. I've never been happier
Double
than I
scratch.
am right now."
Here's the thing. We didn't want to cover it anymore because I thought the other YouTubers did such a good job.
They did.
Right? So, what ended up happening was that she put out a video recently, and I want you to watch this, okay?
Okay.
Hey Shalloners, so today we have to talk about something a little different. I am being extorted.
Stop. She's doing bad. I've never seen Shallon without makeup.
Let's go 3 and 4. If he has a home right now, he would use it.
Cry.
Yes.
I'm about to put on a performance. Let me make sure
Yes.
my makeup's not.
Or as they say of my UK fellas, here comes the water wets.
By a woman named Swati Shukla. She is someone I've considered a very close friend.
Damn, we can hit this.
She runs
Oh no.
the WhatsApp, the Shalloners WhatsApp group.
Oh, that's fine.
And we were going to go into business together in a different venture. And I woke up today to a message saying, these other YouTubers are offering
1,
me
2,
money
3, 4, 5,
to
6.
sell our private WhatsApp chats, and I'm going to do it. I just want you to know.
To create more controversy, because your views are down 80%. Whew. Boo, you've been hit real hard. Let's listen more to what this.
Michael Jackson dad?
Yeah, basically there's like a whole bunch of drama with this person because she was basically teaching people how to like cheat and stuff. So, I don't know, some weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson bad.
On me when I was like at my most vulnerable, and that's a really hard thing to think. You know, like you can have like strangers on the internet. Hate you. It's like, who cares? Like, who even cares? But like when you have someone that you've shared things with, and you think that you were just like a mark to them.
Oh no.
I just really wouldn't wish that on anyone. Like, betrayal is... It's,
Let me read a title. Evil Week. How to destroy your enemies. Conflict resolution from the art of war. Evil Week dating advice. How to cheat and not get caught.
You guys are tired of getting manipulated. I hear it all the time. You're
Wait,
tired
where's
of
the other
getting
guy?
cheated
Oh,
on.
there it
so
is.
is the answer to become the thing you fear and hate the most, a cheater?
Okay, we can send one of these
It can
home.
be.
Damn, this is cutting it close.
Evil Week, how to manipulate your boss and coworkers to get ahead at work.
The way
Oh,
you
no.
manipulate anyone is to find their weakness,
Okay.
identify their shadow self, and press. Okay? We act like men are complicated. They're not. They're shitty and they lie.
Betrayal and manipulation hurts.
Nice.
Imagine teaching people how to cheat and how to manipulate their partners.
Nice.
Imagine teaching people how to manipulate their employees, their fellow coworkers, and their bosses in order to get raises and to get ahead. Imagine doing a whole series of YouTube videos on how to be a bad person and then being surprised when people use those exact same techniques on you.
People want to test me. One of you guys said the other day, I don't know who would watch your channel, Shallon, and think, that's a girl I want to pick a fight with. And you know what? She was right. That's a smart woman. A stupid woman thinks the opposite. A stupid woman says, ooh, Shallon looks weak.
Wait, what happened? Unknown error.
War is strategy.
And now I just look back, I'm like, was she just buttering me up? You know? Like, was she preying on me?
This guy's
At
face is
my
ridiculous
most
right here.
vulnerable.
War is patience. And if you knock on the devil's door long enough, someone is going to answer you. And you won't like what's on the other side of that door.
I just really wouldn't wish that on anyone. Like, betrayal is... It's,
Now, I recognize that extortion's bad. I would never encourage it on anyone, including Shallon. But it does make me feel a little bit less bad when someone teaches people how to scam and then gets mad when they get scammed. Am I crazy, my nigga?
Bruv, this is the game that you thought. Now you want to play the game? Let's go! You got played, boo-boo!
Bro, I didn't believe in karma until this moment, but now I'm a Buddhist monk. Let me tell you,
Yo!
this is crazy. She goes on crying during this video. Tell him.
Listen, you are no longer on higher grounds. The students surpassed the master, Boo Boo Honey Chicken Cherry Child.
Are you saying that she's the Anakin to her Obi-Wan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Listen, Boo Boo, you got played by your own goddamn game. I mean,
I want to watch that original
you
video.
thought you were playing Mario Kart, but your controller was not even plugged in. They played you like a fiddle. It's over, and I'm not excited because I see you down like that. I wouldn't wish that on that, but that's what you
Yikes,
put
dude.
out there,
Before.
and you got smacked back. Jeez.
Yeah, you're mad that she lied to you and misrepresented the relationship. Boo-boo, you've lied about so many celebrities as if they weren't human beings. You've literally made up facts. I'm not saying you got things wrong. You have purposefully and intentfully
I could have used the
made
one
up
on
facts
this.
about
This is
people
scary.
and then misrepresented them
Oh, no.
and haven't apologized and retracted those things. So how am I supposed to feel bad for someone who continuously lies, who teaches people how to scam, who teaches people how to
this is
cheat,
real bad.
and then when they get in a bad situation, they want to get on YouTube, cry,
Okay.
and think they're going to get my sympathy or anyone else's?
No!
And her fans are eating her alive. Have you checked her Reddit?
Damn.
It is one of the greatest things ever. Her
Oh
Reddit is
my.
bananas. It's gotten so
That's
bad
ridiculous,
that they've had to
dude.
ban people for calling her out.
I learned my
much.
lesson
So
with
what I
those.
would say in this
I should've
situation
taken
is
this guy when I could.
treat people how you want to be treated. Put out into the world what you want
We
to
can go off
return
this
to
guy.
you. Generally speaking, what we do is ask for accountability, and we ask people
Oh,
to
it
be
needs to be
decent
on board, I
human beings
think.
to each other. Unfortunately, Shallon, some of the messaging that you've put out has been extremely negative, and you haven't taken accountability for that.
Nope.
We've f***ed up, and we've retracted those things and apologized.
Absolutely.
Right?
What up, Doja?
Yes.
Meow back
Oh.
at you.
Okay.
The people that you're gonna shit on your way up, you're gonna have to face them on your way down, boo boo. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. What's happening? You're facing the music. It sucks, I know, but it's self-inflicted.
That's right. And so your YouTube channel is plummeting, and you hide your subscriber count because you don't want people to see just how bad you're being hurt right now. But you are. And you could say all this talk about how you're like, I got other
Could use
revenue
this
streams,
too
it
to get
doesn't
there.
hurt me. Seeing you cry on your YouTube video,
He moves two, we'll go one,
No
two.
makeup on, barely a shower.
yeah,
Let's
this would
do
never
it.
be a video I would cover normally. But just knowing your history and the things that you've said, I just find it very ironic that you haven't addressed that, yet you want to be sympathized with. Boo boo, miss me with that bull.
Take all your shit and get the out.
Yeah, maybe you should be teaching things to people that you are not applying yourself. So at one point, when she's telling the story, she talks about how she gave Swati $1,400 as a way to help her. And she provides this screenshot of the transaction. Now, at face value, it looks very legit, right? You look at the screenshot, it looks right. So then I compared it to my phone. I have an Android, so when I send someone money, it looked different. Some of the words were slightly different, but I'm like, it's on an Android, so maybe it's a problem with me. So I borrowed my roommate's iPhone, and then I downloaded the app, and then I went into my account, and I did the exact same thing. And lo and behold, now it looks identical, but still some of the words are different. If you notice, it doesn't say you paid $1,400. It says you sent. Meaning when you send someone money, right? If you look at the transaction type at the bottom, it says money sent. That's why it says you sent $1.89 to blank. But on Shannon's screenshot, you notice it says you paid. And that struck me as a little bit odd because I used to run an online store. Normally you paid is when you basically are paying out invoices and stuff like that, or you're paying stores for transactions. Then it normally you pay. That's what at least struck me. So I pulled it up. And I pulled up one of my old transactions I did, I think, with Uber. Look at the difference. Now you says you've paid, right? So now you're seeing the word paid, but it's no longer money sent. It's a different type of transaction that you're engaging, and hence the words are different. The second thing that I think stands out to me the most is it says from Washington Mutual. Now, I looked up Washington Mutual, but Washington Mutual has been closed since 2008. I'm assuming.
But to be fair, they're actually bought by Chase. Okay. Carryover account. Okay.
They went under, but as a bank, they no longer exist, and they haven't existed in years. Yeah, it's all written in small letters. I don't know why there are no caps on it at all. Normally, for a proper name or when you're naming a company, your first letter is always.
I was thinking about this, but I think they could have just like named the source Washington Mutual, so that could be fine.
In large letters. I don't know. As you guys know, after D'Angelo Wallace exposed her, Shallon decided that she was going to hide her subscribers, hide the like to dislike ratio on all her videos. Why are you hiding your subs? And Shallon replies, because my subs are being harassed. A large chunk of my audience is under 18 and actually sniping teenagers off one by one, commenting,
this game is rigged.
Hey, I hope you get deleted because you like Shallon. Isn't really okay with me. I'm protecting my girls. That's what a pack leader does. I don't think at any point during my time on YouTube have I ever clicked on the sub count to go see who subscribed to them. I don't even think you're allowed to. That's not even a feature that exists. So if you're trying to protect your viewers, how does it help them or to hide the one functionality that doesn't showcase their identity in any type of way?
I had lent her money. I lent her a lot of money. I lent her $1,400. You know when you do something and you like don't want to tell your friends because you know that they're going to be like, what did you do? Like, and it's not because your friends are being judgmental. It's because they represent what you already know. They're the Greek chorus. And she gave me this story about, you know, it's the pandemic. She lives in India, but lives in like a 20-bedroom house, has servants, would complain when her servants didn't show up and she had to wash her own breakfast spoon. Like, she's
the president of your fan club is a lawyer who has a whole bunch of employees that work under her and is also from a super wealthy, rich family. And somehow she needs your money, but she also has enough time to run your fan club, but also as a full-time lawyer, she can manage all those employees?
Always talking about the family wealth. So, okay. But she's like, my law firm is basically dead in the water. I have drained my savings paying my employees. I need $1,400 to make payroll. And she's like, they're all women. And I'm like, I just can't, like,
We
It
got
is
bad
stupid.
RNG right
That
now.
is one of the dumbest stories, and the fact that it came from someone from India makes it even funnier. Next, you're gonna tell me that you were done in by a Nigerian prince. At some
This
point,
guy's griefing,
this
dude.
story sounds so ridiculous. Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe she makes it ridiculous enough. She was just like, she couldn't have tried to make up a lie this stupid. But this does sound really dumb, doesn't it? Like, am I the only one who's listening to this and like, this is really unbelievable? You tell me that you lent $1,400 to a stranger you've never met?
It's not out of spite or revenge. I'm trying to get my life back. There's no legal action you can take against me. I'm not an American. I also think there's a chance you could save your reputation, and you should be given that. How merciful. You have 24 hours to PayPal me the money and give me in writing that you have waived off the loan, the $1,400 loan, 24 hours or I walk.
So let me get this straight. The scammer says, you can't do anything to me about me extorting you because I'm not a American citizen. So you might as well comply. But then the scammer also says, I need you to forgive this $1,400 loan. Why? If they can't extort you, why would you think that you can recoup the $1,400? Like, what? Even if she was an American citizen, like, recouping $1,400 is extremely difficult. You ever taken someone to small claims court? It's very expensive and it's time consuming. That's why most of the time people don't like going to court over small sums. This is really weird. Why would she want a written piece of paper saying that you're going to forgive the $1,400 loan, but she's going to extort you and she's not worried about consequences? Does that make sense to y'all? All right, I don't know. It's making my head hurt because I'm like, am I the stupid one in this, or is this story really ridiculous? Now, look, I'm not here saying that Shanti's not a real person. From the research I've done, she is.
Oops,
Or
I
her
should have gone
account was real and that
5-3.
she interacted with a lot of
Not
different
paying
people.
attention.
That's all we really know.
Oh no, he's
I
gonna
just
go
want to bring
boom,
this
boom,
to
boom,
your
boom,
attention.
boom.
I'm not saying whether or not the story's true or false. I'm just saying there's a lot of hints at it that is probably not nearly as true as she claims. And based off of past history,
my
to
God.
lie about people, to omit and make up facts out of nowhere, it's hard for anybody to give her the benefit of the doubt. You feel what I'm saying? And it seems like because her YouTube channel was taking such a nosedive, and it was, you could actually look this up on Social Blade, her views were down almost 75% from last month. It seemed like this was a video she did to spike things back up. She thought this was going to shoot her back up into the big game, and the reality is it didn't work. She spiked up very fast for that video, and everything went right back to normal. So, what do you want me to say? I want you guys to get the full context, so there you have it, and hopefully this paints a good picture for you guys of what we wanted to talk about.
What's the name of the wonderful YouTuber that first called her out?
D'Angelo Wallace?
D'Angelo, just shout outs to you, my dude.
Yeah.
Shout outs to you.
Yeah. So that's it for today's video. We put this out because we wanted people to know about this. You don't feel bad for her?
At all. If I feel bad for her,
Yeah.
why would I?
Yeah.
At all.
No.
Not a bit. It's bad what happens.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on someone, but that is a thing, all right? I wouldn't wish certain things to some people, but if that's your core and what you believe and what you go by, then if this happens to you, that's what you believe in.
Right.
So why would I feel bad?
Right. Isn't it like a saying, like, no honor amongst thieves?
Yeah. The people you thieve with,
Yeah.
thieve on you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like if you cheated on people, then you get cheated on. You know?
I'm not gonna feel bad. I don't wish that on nobody, but I'm not gonna feel bad.
No, because you put that out there.
It's not even so much that you did that. It's that you instruct other people to, you instruct the masses that toxic behavior, how to replicate that toxic behavior, how to do this toxic pattern. And then when it happens to you, here's how you delete someone. And then you get deleted?
That's your problem.
To me, that's what happened.
Right.
So I don't feel bad if it, like, I don't feel bad if it
All right, that was a good turnaround.
Yeah, I don't think you want to say
Give me 2 seconds.
All right, we're going to stop this.
What?
Wait, let's watch the original. Wait, what even is this
Welcome
video?
back, Shalloners. Oh yeah, today we're tackling a topic that's been all over the news.
Probably this one.
Hey, Shalloners. So today we have to talk about something a little different. I am being extorted by a woman named Swati Shukla. She is someone I've considered a very close friend. She runs the Shalloners WhatsApp group. And we were gonna go into business together in a different venture. And I woke up today to a message saying, these other YouTubers are offering me money to sell our private WhatsApp chats, and I'm going to do it. I just want you to know first. And if you don't want me to do this, you have to pay me $9,000 and forgive a $1,400 loan that you gave me. I'll unpack this all, but that is the TLDR. So here's the backstory. Swati was a fan. She was a Shalloner, you know, and she started like DMing me and I was DMing her back. She might have submitted a question or something. And this was like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, maybe last year. I can't really remember. But she's like, I'm not sure if she had already started the WhatsApp group or she wanted to. And I was like, cool, like, thank you. That's so sweet, you know? And my friend, like my in real life, one of my best friends, Lizzie,
oh my God,
was also an admin, and you know, another real life friend. And I began hearing from you guys, and I am just so sorry that I didn't believe you. I am so sorry. I fucking hate to cry. I hate to cry. I hate it when people upset me to the point that I'm crying. But you guys, you tried to warn me. Like, you tried to warn me, and you tried to tell me that, like, she was being, like, a dictator on the chat and deleting people. And I was like, you know what? It's her land. Like, she can do with it whatever she wants. I'm not involved with it. Like, this isn't, like, my enterprise. And I am so sorry. Like, I am so sorry, but, like, you have to understand.
Actually, Form 5 would have been a good one right there.
She was like, these people have turned against you, and these people... I'm gonna like cry my lashes off. This is so annoying. These people are like saying hateful things, but she would never let me see what that was. She's like, you just trust me, and I'll take care of them. And I was like, okay, like I didn't want to look at hateful things people were saying, and I considered her a friend. Like we're on our private WhatsApp chat, just talking like girlfriends. Like I know all about her family and all the drama and like ex-boyfriends and mental health issues and drugs and all this stuff. And it's like, when she as a friend says to me, Shallon, you have to trust me. I'm your friend. You know, I've got your back 100%. I was like, okay. And then things they just kind of started to go left. Like a few weeks ago, you know, periodically she would complain about the WhatsApp group, and it was so much work and it's so much drama and people hate me on there. And I was like, girl, don't do it. Like, don't do it. Who cares? Delete it. Sign out. Like, whatever, you know? If it's not fun, like, what's the point? And I was always like, don't ever put that in front of your mental health. Ever. This should be something that's fun. That's the whole point. And then she just kind of went left a few weeks ago, and she's like, I need to be getting paid for this. And she came at me like so strong. And she's like, I've been working so hard on this and I deserve money. And I was like, well, I'm not paying you, girl. Like, you took this on yourself. You had this before we even connected. Or whatever. Like, even if you didn't, like, this is not my deal. I never told you to do that. My party line has always been like, if you don't like it, don't do it. I don't care. And I'm like, I'm not paying you to do this. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not. And she's like, and then she tries to backtrack. And she's like, no. I just mean like, we should find a way to monetize this. I was like, well, that's a good idea, you know? And we looked into doing like a Facebook group that you could join, like a members only thing. You pay like $3 a month or something. And it's like the official Shalontourage home. And I would be on it too. And I would like talk with you guys because I'm not on any of these WhatsApps. I'm not on them. And, you know, Facebook was just like not really viable. And I was like, well, I could build a page onto my website, you know, let me ask my developer. And he's like, it's tough, but I can do it. And then like I started talking with the rest of my team, and I have a very expensive team. I spend money on lip gloss and lawyers. the 2 L's, okay?
That's pretty
They
funny.
were like, don't do that. Law enforcement that I've been talking to for other things in my life, they were like, don't do that. My other influencer friends, don't do that. Why? It was too much risk. First of all, there was the issue of data privacy, like something like WhatsApp or Facebook, and if you're on a chat there, they have their own data security measures. I, as just like an individual on a website, my data security measures would not be would not be the same. I mean, they'd be good, but they wouldn't be the same. And I would never ever want to risk your private chats getting into the hands of people we don't want, which is what this video is about, isn't it?
Not a one.
And yeah, my lawyers were like, also,
Okay,
like, if
that's good.
someone says something on there, even if you never actually log in, even if you just do little videos and you send them and she posts them, like, there's a liability. What if you just happen to come up with a phrase, but someone on the chat already has a book titled that, then it's trademark infringement. What if someone on the chat is like, I'm going to kill myself and I blame Shallon, and because it's just, there's a million ways it could have gone wrong. And I was so upset. We had such a cool name, Shallon X Only. And I was like, this is such a bummer, but business is business. And it's been a rough year in a lot of ways, and I have gotten so much smarter in terms of security and safety, not only for me, but for you guys. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this just isn't a good move. And I was dreading telling her because she has always been extremely volatile to the point where, like, I felt like our friendship was predicated on me being afraid of her. And this is where the shame kicks in. This is where the shame kicks in because I always tell you guys to listen to your intuition, to like listen. If something doesn't feel right, just walk away. And I didn't do that. And part of the reason is because, like, I did consider her like a friend, like a good friend. Like, we knew so much about each other's lives, and I told her things about my life, and she told me a lot about hers. And it's like, how could I walk away from a friend, even if I have a bad feeling? But I tell you guys to do exactly that. It's like your intuition knows. She knows. I don't even think it was deep as my intuition. It was like the much more conscious side of my brain being like, this person could flip on you, girl. And I didn't listen to it. And here we are. And I was actually always afraid she would do something like this. I thought she would like trash me on the groups or something like that. But I found out through the course of this whole thing, she already has been. Like, she would text me things. Someone in the group chat says they have a video of you molesting a child. She literally said that to me. And I was like, what? I was like, girl, I don't even babysit, okay? And I was so upset. I was like, who would say something like that? And she's like, don't worry, I blocked them. But she was making that up to like terrorize me. And I just don't get it. Like, she would text me in like the middle of the night, like having a meltdown, and I would be there for her. And she'd always be like, I'm ugly and I'm fat. And I'm like, girl, you are a smoke show. Like, you are a stunner. Like, you are so smart. You're a lawyer. Like, you are this, you are that. Like, stop. You need to start looking at yourself the way we look at you and the way I see you. And like, I was always such a cheerleader for her. And I felt like I couldn't leave. Like, I couldn't get out of this friendship, for a lot of reasons. So when I told her that Shallon X Only wasn't going to happen, she reacted exactly how I predicted she was going to react, which was she lost her mind on me. Like, she was so angry. She was so vitriolic and insulting. How dare you not trust me? I can't believe it. I have screenshots for all of this, like, by the way. And I was like, I understand you're disappointed, but you can't attack me like this. You can't say, like, you're the reason I don't have any faith in humanity anymore, and you're a monster, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is not an appropriate reaction to a business venture that doesn't work out. 80% of business ventures don't work out. That's just business. This channel isn't all I do. I do so many other things behind the scenes, not even for my own brand, but like I'm investing in other things. And like, and I was like, I understand, like, the first big disappointment. I understand it's disappointing. I get it. But before this, I had lent her money. I lent her a lot of money. I lent her $1,400. You know when you do something and you, like, don't want to tell your friends because you know that they're going to be like, what did you do? Like, and it's not because your friends are being judgmental. It's because they represent what you already know. They're the Greek chorus. And she gave me this story about, you know, it's the pandemic. She lives in India, but lives in like a 20-bedroom house, has servants, would complain when her servants didn't show up and she had to wash her own breakfast spoon. Like, she's always talking about the family wealth. So, okay. But she's like, my law firm is basically dead in the water. I have drained my savings paying my employees. I need $1,400 to make payroll. And she's like, they're all women. And I'm like, I just can't, like, I don't know, like, trying to justify it now. It sounds stupid. I sound as foolish as I feel. If that makes you feel better, you know, I was just like, I was trying to help her as a friend, and I had like gone through something and I was like upset, and she had like been there for me. And now I just look back, I'm like, was she just buttering me up? You know, like, was she preying on me when I was like at my most vulnerable? And that's a really hard thing to think, you know, like, you can have like strangers on the internet hate you. It's like, who cares? Like, who even cares? But like, when you have someone that you've shared things with and you think that you were just like a mark to them.
Yeah, it's hard to have sympathy for this because she was literally teaching people how to do this kind of stuff in her videos. That was like her content that I'd seen.
I just really wouldn't wish that on anyone. Like, betrayal so it's like when I sent her that money over PayPal, I knew I'd never see it again. And she drew up this whole agreement, and I'll pay you back by October and stuff. And I was just like, I'm never gonna see that money. And I made peace with that. And that's when I was like, I can't get in any deeper with this person. And that's why when the Shallon X Only thing came up, I was like, not feeling great about it, but I had made a commitment and it was a good business idea. But when my lawyers and stuff were like, don't do this, I was like, okay, you guys are right. And I'm telling you this because the reason I'm telling you this is not just like the drama, because me saying I couldn't do that business venture is what precipitated her doing this to me, this extortion. This didn't come out of nowhere. And I knew there was some fallout. I didn't think it was going to be like this. And so she was like freaking out after the Shallon X Only. And then like, because I was like, you need to cut it out. Like, don't come at me like this. I have been such a champion for you for so long, and I still am. Like, come on. So then yesterday, she texted me this. I'm so sorry for my behavior the other night. It wasn't right. I should have handled the disappointment better than being a child about it. I'm sorry. You handle my emotional outbursts better than my mom does. You're going to make a great mom someday if you ever decide to have kids. I honestly think you would make an amazing mom. Don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean I see you as a mother figure. I don't. Just a comparison. And I was like, I love you too. I know disappointment is crushing. I feel that feeling all the time. Learning how to manage disappointment and expectations is like truly my life's work. So like we hugged it out or whatever. And I was like, great. And today I wake up to, so some YouTubers have been making me offers to share the chat we had with them to create more controversy because your views are down by 80%. No. Now, American law doesn't apply to me, so I'm basically free and I do need money to make my life better. Just thought you should hear it from me first. I was like, what? What are you talking about? You're gonna sell our chats? Shallon X Only didn't work out. I need money to start my life over, and some YouTubers have been approaching me. This isn't personal. I'm trying to get my life on track. Now, I did a screen recording of this whole conversation, this portion of our conversation. It's going to be on my Instagram. Like, you can look at it. In the screen recording, it clearly shows it's my phone. I didn't invent any of this. I would never
Why would I lead? Why, like, what? To what possible end? So then she says, oops, if you can match my offer, then it dies down between us. I said, that's extortion. She said, I know. That's why I didn't ask you for money. I only gave you a heads up. I said, I'm honestly at a loss of words. I feel sick to my stomach. You're going to sell our conversations. I would never do that to you. I've never done anything bad. I protected you from a bad business investment. Stop blaming your parents. I thought you should hear from me first. And I just said my heart was broken. I'm not doing it out of spite, she said. I'm doing it because I need money to make my life better. I said, how much are they offering you? What would be my offer to match it and make this go away? Let's be clear, I had absolutely no fucking intention of paying her for anything. Let's talk logically. People have already said everything they want to say about me on the internet. There's like not really a lot of corners left to snoop around. So it's like people are gonna pay you for info about like an oversaturated topic? Huh? I didn't really buy her story at all. And as she talks more about it, like you can see why it's so ridiculous. Oh great, I'm crying my lashes off. I'm crying my lashes off. Damn it. And I said, you know, I've been poor too. I've been on food stamps and unemployment, and it never crossed my mind to sell out someone who cared about me. The fact that that's your character, I'm blown away. Pay me the $1,400 you owe me today. Not doing it, she said. I said I was going to report her to the Bar Association in India. She said she doesn't really matter. Doesn't care. Okay. Then she says, look, if I were you, I would settle this between us so nobody knows anything. I said, and how do we do that, Swati? You pay me what they are paying me, and I give you an NDA in written. I assume she means writing. I said, I want disclosures about who these YouTubers are first. I want to check out that your story actually has merit. I promised them I won't disclose their names until I make a deal with them, so sorry, I can't give you names. No names, no deal. How much are they paying you? Okay then, I'm off to bed, good night, as if. She's obviously still going. She said, there are 4 people, so they're paying a lot. Let's just stop right there. 4 YouTubers. 4 people don't have a YouTube channel. They would have 4 individual channels, so why would they pay for the same content that's going to be diluted times 4 if they all post it? Do you know what I mean? People Magazine, Us Weekly, and Star Magazine, they don't team up to buy one sex tape. Then it's not an exclusive and it means nothing. So right here, her story makes no sense. If you and I were to make a deal, oh wait, they're 4 people, so they're paying a lot, but I would never ask that kind of amount from you. You are my friend, and I don't even know how they found me. If you and I were to make a deal, I would like you to waive off the $1,400 loan, and then the amount would be $9,000. It's less than their offer, but at least I'll get to start fresh and your reputation will be safe. For the sake of all the times I try to protect your reputation. See right there. For all the times I try to protect you. This threat isn't real. This is her saying, I'm owed this by the time I went to bat for you. Oh, you mean defending me against threats you made up in your own mind just to terrorize me for no reason? And also, $9,000? Let's go back to the magazine example. I worked in magazines a long time. Star Magazine wouldn't pay $9,000 for photos of Kylie Jenner having sex with Scott Disick while Kris Jenner filmed it, with Kendall robbing a bank in the background and Kim taking the president hostage. That's not even remotely in the realm of sanity at all. It's crazy. It's not out of spite or revenge. I'm trying to get my life back. There's no legal action you can take against me. I'm not an American. I also think there's a chance you could save your reputation, and you should be given that. How merciful. You have 24 hours to PayPal me the money and give me in writing that you have waived off the loan, the $1,400 loan, 24 hours or I walk. And what happens if I don't, I said. Then I take the offer of other people. Here is my link. Don't worry, after all of this, I'll give you in written that no conversation between you and me will reach anyone's ears. It would be like we never knew each other. That's the best I can do for you because we have history. I'm rejecting higher paying offers because we have history and I don't want to be the reason you get hurt. But I have to look after myself. So between you and me, I choose me. I didn't know it was a choice. That's weird. I thought there were other ways to make money except for extortion. Guess I was wrong. 24 hours. Start now. TikTok. TikTok. You know, people making videos for drama, those get ignored. Who cares? I don't fucking care. People trying to come at me with crime? That is a different response. And not all my responses are public. That doesn't mean they don't exist. But this response is public. This is a warning. Swati, all you have done is awaken a sleeping giant. That's it. And if anyone else out there thinks that I'm an easy target for extortion, I'm not. What do I say all the time in my videos? Don't respond and don't negotiate with terrorists. And I meant like fuckboys or annoying sisters-in-law, not people who are actually ransoming something off, actually extorting you. I won't be bullied, and I won't be threatened, and I won't be intimidated. If you think that's the kind of person I am, you're on the wrong channel, and you haven't been paying attention. And I would assume that somebody who ran one of my fan groups would never have looked at me and thought, there's an easy target, because I'm not. I made the fatal error of trusting someone who I saw as a wounded bird, and who I wanted to help. And I thought she deserved help. I thought she deserved to move on and be happy in her life, and I hope someday she is. This will not stand. There's law enforcement on this. There's my lawyers on this. Just because you live in a different country, I don't know who told you that that means you have no consequences. That's not true at all. Not at all. Not at all. My heart's just broken about this. It's a really sad day for me, because what I love about this job is that I get to talk to you guys in the comments and DMs, and like, I have made so many real, actual friends through doing this, and now I just don't want to. I just don't fucking want to. Like, it's awful, and I know that I'll get back to a place of like trust in people, but today I am really shot through the heart. I am. So that's my story. I wish we were here talking about Chloe's Photoshop or whatever, and we're gonna get back to business, but I wanted you guys to know. So I love you guys, and I really appreciate the support. You know, I know this is like a weird thing to talk about, but I really do appreciate the support so much. I love you guys.
Okay, 1 second. Gotta refresh my dailies here. Okay. Looks good.
I hereby declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America that to the best of my knowledge and belief the foregoing is true and correct, and I have the authority to act on behalf of the owner of the copyrights involved. I have good faith belief that the use of materials identified below is not authorised by the owner and therefore infringes on its rights pursuant to section 512 of the US copyright law. Signed, Liberty Hangout LLC. Yes. Caitlin Bennett has got lawyers involved to try and take my videos down. Oliver and I'm Alex, welcome back to another video. Hopefully you guys are doing well. This isn't going to be like some funny reaction commentary where we look at the silly things Caitlin Bennett has done, said and tweeted recently, which is a lot, by the way. There's a lot of that. I'm sure I can show a few of those tweets. They're public.
Oh man. Everyone should go back to work while the police are preoccupied with the riots. The lockdown is over. Wait, what? Trump should sign an executive order. If it's part of one of these riots, you lose your... Whoa. Isn't real? Okay. Once all... Okay. Okay, versus... Alright.
You know, just like the videos are. I'm not gonna get in trouble for showing those, am I? What spurred this video on today is not some silly video or ridiculous statement that's been made. Unfortunately not. It's legal. Oh no, gotta get legal involved. Give me a second, I've just gotta go and pick out my best suit. Alright, now I feel a lot more comfortable. So if you haven't gathered already, I received an email from YouTube saying that my video on Caitlin Bennett, specifically my first video on Caitlin Bennett called Caitlin Bennett Gets Owned, had a copyright takedown notice filed against it because I had infringed on copyright laws. Now if you go through the video, it's reaction commentary, it's protected by fair use, I play a clip and then I critique it or I make a joke. And I only use about 10 to 15 seconds of the video in between these like segments that I'm doing. It's not like I'm re-uploading her video. It's a commentary video. It's actually what she does. So she filed a copyright strike against me because she didn't like what I had to say in my video reacting to her reacting to videos. So she filed a copyright strike against me, a channel that makes commentary videos based on other people's content that they have uploaded to the internet, and then she goes on regularly and uploads videos where she does the exact same thing I do. Our channels aren't very different. Well, they're quite different in policy, but not in terms of content. I'm going to take this off because, thankfully, YouTube got involved and instantly denied the takedown request that Caitlin Bennett filed against me and my channel. But by using the copyright system as a form of weapon to remove videos and to put strikes against people's channels, therefore putting them in a position where they can't make money or they can't upload videos if they get enough strikes, that's bad news. Because it also means you're opening up the platform to be attacked against you. And there's no reason for any of us to do this anymore, because if we're going to be using the system to take down videos, then people are just going to use it to take down our ones. So, no winning there. Doesn't make any sense. Why have you filed it against me and multiple other YouTubers? YouTuber Sam Collins is in this email with 2 videos attached that Caitlin Bennett wanted removed. A YouTuber by the name of Rolly, who I know personally, had one of his videos in here that they wanted removed. Jammy Dodger, Christina My Own, who made a video on this whole subject, which is actually the reason I found out this was happening. Originally, I just thought it was kind of a dodgy takedown notice, maybe it was an auto-claim and YouTube had rejected it. But until I watched her video, and when I read through the email, I realised, oh no, this is a planned attack, and they want to take my channel down. Then there's me, not important enough to be at the top of the list, which I do take personally, American Freedom World Peace, and the Young Turks, as well as Philip DeFranco, a man who literally reports the news. And this is the email that YouTube sent back, which really made me feel like there was a lot more faith restored in the platform, and I greatly appreciate the fact that YouTube now is taking the accurate steps to protect its creators. Thank you very much for your notification. We were unable to remove all of the URLs that you submitted. The following URLs remain live. By the looks of it here, it's all of them. So, unlucky Caitlin. We are very concerned that your copyright notification may not be valid for some or all of the videos identified in your notification. I love that. You know, YouTube being a bit sassy. Oh, hey, you know, some or all of them Looks like all of them. Please keep in mind that in many countries it is illegal to use copyrighted works in specific ways without the owner's authorization, particularly for transformative purposes, such as news reporting, parody, commentary, or review, which is exactly what everybody in this video has been doing, and exactly what you do, Caitlin. So why are you trying to take these videos down? When you're meant to be an arbiter of free speech and the freedom to enact your freedoms. Why are you trying to silence people? Isn't that like the complete opposite of what you stand for? But the crazy thing about this is they then email back, and I'm getting it all in this thread. I've just been reading through it, and it's mental. Dear YouTube team, Liberty Hangout LLC creates content at great expense, including personal expense and at times physical risk to its reporters, including Caitlin Bennett and Justin Moldo. This includes the videos identified in the DMCA takedown notices. Well, here's one, bright guy. Maybe, don't make that content anymore. I don't know, man. Like, just because it's like causing you a problem doesn't mean other people can't look at it and go, hey man, maybe I should like take that video that's public and take the piss out of it. Even if you are having like physical expenses made, that's you who made the video. You know, it's not our fault that we took a video that you posted to the internet and went, oh man, isn't this a bit stupid? And clearly, you agree. They then go on to claim that some of the watermarks have been removed from the footage. Now, I didn't remove any of the watermarks in my footage. In fact, I proudly showed the Liberty Hangout intro. In fact, roll it.
Don't get a 3.
Dubstep, man. I'm a big fan of that. You know, I love that. There's no reason I would ever want people to not know who that video was made by. It's made by Liberty Hangout, everybody. Everybody who's watching this video, I want you to know, Liberty Hangout make the videos that Caitlin Bennett uploads. It's her and her husband who run that channel. And that's cool, man. You can know that they own it. And I want it to be clear that those are the people who own it. Now, don't go and harass them. Don't go down and take their videos down. And don't go and, like, file false copyright strikes at people. But, hey, you know, I'm not in fear or bothered by the fact that people know who you are, and I'm not trying to stop people from knowing that. I'm more than happy with people being completely aware that it's Caitlin Bennett and the people involved who make them. Now, because you've said here that that's now personal risk, do you want people to show that it's Liberty Hangout, which apparently is putting you at risk, or do you want people to hide it and then file copyright strike against them? I don't know. What do you want here? I don't understand what you want from the people in this email. Apparently you want us to not make videos on it, but to leave the watermarks in. Make your mind up. They then link my video here and say that I blocked and removed the logo, which I didn't do. I show the Liberty Hangout logo multiple times throughout the video. In fact, here they all are. So I think it's kind of crazy that I've been added onto a list of people who have done exactly what Caitlin Bennett does regularly on her channel, and she doesn't ask permission to put the Logan Paul impulsive clips in. She doesn't ask permission to use James Charles content in her videos. But me and these other commentary YouTubers, apparently that's what we're meant to do now, and we're meant to make sure that everybody can see the content. But then also, we're not meant to do that, because apparently some of the stuff that they've posted on their YouTube channel might cause them harm and risk, and it's our fault for them putting that on our channel. Not only is this anti-free speech, this is illegal. To file a false copyright claim in the attempts to take down people's videos and silence them is straight up not allowed. Which is why YouTube, thank God, have blocked them from being able to do this. Now, as far as I could tell in these emails, they said that they may continue legal action if they feel like it's necessary. So, if that's something that happens, I'll come back and make a video on it, and I'll let you guys all know that apparently Caitlin Bennett is really upset at making commentary videos now, so she's going to take us all with her. But it's crazy that in 2020, after everything that's happened with commentary and freedom of speech, especially as Caitlin Bennett being one of those people who has advocated for it, that somebody who has spent all that time doing it is now coming at other people for the exact same thing they do. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy it, I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to link all of the people's channels who had copyright strikes filed against them in the description below, because Caitlin Bennett doesn't want you seeing those people. She doesn't want you watching them, and go ahead and watch them. I'm sorry that this video is a bit more serious. I can't really believe that we're still doing this in 2020 with everything that's going on with YouTube and copyright, so on and so forth, but at least YouTube have taken a step, in my opinion, massively in the right direction by protecting these videos, and it would really upset Caitlin if people want to watch them. So, there you go. Peace out, people.
Alright. I like his outro music, though, too.
And have a good day.
These students came out to violently assault me, harass me, and riot against me because their phones told them to, because of my conservative opinions.
Wait, what did he? Oh, back one? Okay.
I wonder if you would come to Sweden. I wonder how long it would take for you to try to come back to America.
Well, whenever my plane ticket leaves, I'd imagine, no?
Yeah, like hopefully if it doesn't get cancelled, right? I mean, if you get stuck here, can you just buy a computer? And then you could play with Ivy instead. You can play Ivy with COD.
No.
You can play COD with Knut and Ivy instead of Dan and Mr. Moon for a few months. That's great, right? Just like change it up a little bit. And with Nim.
Play what?
And with Candyland. There's some nice ones on this side of Earth, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Kenny and me would get along very well.
You and Candy?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you could probably, she started like reading stuff and she wants to become smart.
No, not she. I don't think she's. It's not like she's dumb or anything like that. I just like my
No.
personality is like very aggressive, and hers is not that.
Nah, she's really easy to get along with.
Yeah, it's not a matter of being easy to get along with. It's a matter of if I'm easy to get along with. A lot of people don't like my personality. I don't think that she would enjoy being around me.
You say that you get along with most people.
If I want to, I can. But get along with most people and make an effort to be a friend with somebody are two very fucking different things. I'll get along with anybody that I need to, but not like, oh, I'm going to be friends with everybody. That's like way, way, way more selective in terms of who I'm going to go through the effort to be friends with. She says she likes assholes. She doesn't. She might say it, but no girl when she says that means that. She just means she likes somebody that's confident.
Wait, what?
When girls say like, "Oh, I like guys that are assholes or bad," but no, they don't.
Oh, I guess you could do this.
Confident.
Which is not.
Yeah, she likes confident.
Right.
Nobody wants a guy that's gonna like fucking like, oh god, that dude was such a bad boy. He stole $40 from me last night before he like went off to buy crack or whatever. Like nobody wants to date somebody like that.
I just don't think she understands you. Maybe, or doesn't know you.
Most people just don't want to deal with somebody that's as obnoxious as me 24/7. I'm a really hard person to get along with.
Is that good?
Just is what it is. It's not
You
good or
kind of,
bad.
you kind of filter the ones that's for you then.
Yeah, of course.
Dude. How are you getting these ones?
Nah, Candy understands stuff. It's just the language thing.
Oh
I think it's interesting because she sounds so different. The way she speaks and the way what she says and stuff in Swedish sounds so different. No, it is true. It is true.
Listen,
Did
it's
you
not
see the
people
clip
like
where she was
Hassan
like,
that are going to pay for these consequences. I want to make it very, very clear.
This is the reason why I don't like this. This is the reason, I don't know, dude. I'm at massive conflict with, like, revolution in general, especially revolution around race. And the reason why is because if you're not successful, probably a lot of black people, if not all black people,
Isn't
are going to
Candy
die.
like
It's probably just going to result in a
educated?
genocide.
She's like really
I'm
good
not
at math
kidding.
and stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me if it results in a genocide. That if we try to have a revolution over race and it doesn't work out, which I don't think it will work out, these people are not going to be paying the price. People like Hassan isn't going to be paying the price. He's not going to be doing the worst comes to worst. He's going to strike a deal with somebody, and that's going to be the end of it.
My favorite meme was when Hassan was like, dude, listen, like, I don't want Trump either. Like, if Trump makes it, like, I might get deported. That was one of my favorite Hassanisms of all time. That and the English second language one.
What?
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 Just I think I've argued in the past about Hassan. He says dumb shit sometimes, and it seems like he doesn't care if Trump wins or not. And I remember Hassan attacked that point. He's like, dude, if Trump wins, like, I could get deported. But, like, for somebody like Hassan to get deported, we would have to be deporting an unimaginable amount of people. Like,
oh.
And then in the past too, he said, like, oh, sometimes I get confused because English is my second language, so I might say something I don't mean or whatever, which is like.
Wait, how long has he been in America? Like, when did did he grow up in Turkey or something? Or
I think he grew up in Turkey, but I think he came over when he was like, was it like 11 or 12? I know you guys know Hassan's full fucking lore. Don't.
Wait, how old is he now?
27 or 28 maybe? 24, 25?
So how many years has he been here?
Like 10? Maybe?
10 years?
Oh, he came over when he was 18. He's been here for at least a decade, people are saying.
Mm-hmm. Did he understand like could he speak English when he came?
I don't know. Turkey is like a pretty people speak a lot of English in Turkey, right? Don't they? Or do they not?
He didn't speak it?
No, people say
No, they don't. No, I don't think so. If it's like South Europe, they're really bad at English in general.
I mean, Hassan's English is like, he has I don't think Hassan even has an accent. Like, if somebody were to hear him speaking English, they would just think he's a native English speaker. You would never even think. Maybe there might be some words or whatever that.
Why do you say fuck you, Melina? It's true,
people
though.
Like to be contrarian about like everything.
I mean, like, people in South Europe they're not very good at English. Like, it's not very common that you meet someone that's like insanely good at it. Compared to like if you go up north. Like if you even
this
like
guy
go
have
to
a send
Germany,
you
there's
home
a fuck ton
thing.
of people that doesn't understand English. So do you remember how much problems we had when we were in Berlin speaking with people? Try to communicate with people in German or.
That's scary. Oh my god. No!
He speaks better English. Yeah, but he's been in America for 10 years.
I would bet a sizable chunk of money. I think I would bet thousands of dollars that Hassan knew English before he came to the U.S. I don't believe that he learned English from nothing at 18 years old and has no accent. I don't believe that at all. Even if he were to say different, I would say he's lying. There's no way. I'm not even close to believing it.
I mean, he got kind of probably like if he didn't understand it at all, you kind of get forced to learn a language when you.
Yeah, but with no accent, starting at like 18.
But it's been 10 years.
It doesn't matter. There are people that have been here for 30 years, but they came here like in their 20s or 30s, and they still have an accent. Look at like Jackie Chan. Like that guy worked in Hollywood and movie industry in America and shit for like decades, and his accent like was still made him unintelligible in some movie sets. Like if you start learning a second language like past like your teens. You have to go through like a concerted effort to get rid of an accent, not just learning language. You have to like go to school to like get rid of accents. Like it's a specialized thing. Like there's no way that like at 18 you start learning a foreign language and then you have no and you just have no accent. Like Hassan, like I said, like if anybody listens to Hassan speak, he sounds like a native English speaker. You never guess that he even knows a second language.
Hi, Melina.
Hi.
I was going to give you an example. Do you remember how my wife sounded when you spoke with her?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was 19 when she came to America. And,
oh, she still has an accent.
Well, yeah, and she was also studying linguistics. Like, that was her career, right, before she came here. That's what she was in college for. And so, yeah, that's been 16, 17 years now.
Yeah.
You would bet money, Dan, with big odds that there's no way that Hassan started learning English at 18, right? Like he was speaking it fluently by the time he was 18. He probably learned when he was like either before he was 10 or like around then.
All I can say is he definitely has no accent.
Yeah,
if I talk to Hassan, I mean, he could just be god tier at doing it. I have no idea if he learned it or not. I would say if he did learn it here, that would be extremely fucking impressive. I'll put it that way. To have, because it's not like he has like a slight accent. Like he
has no English accent at all. Like he sounds like he could be from like LA or whatever, like a California bro.
Huh. I wonder if some people are better at learning another language and get rid of their accents compared to others. Because there's some people that just like it will never change.
No, you can. You just have to go to. You have to make like a deliberate effort to do so.
Oh, so I have to do that too.
You don't have to, but like as it stands right now, like my guess is that like how you sound now is probably about how you'll always sound if you were to live in America for 10 or 20 years. That if you wanted to change like how you sound, you would have to make a deliberate effort to like say things more American, probably.
Well, you know, there's probably one more factor in here that we're not considering as well, which is how similar the language is to English to begin with, right? So if you're speaking Arabic or Hebrew or Russian, it's gonna be probably more difficult for you than if you were coming from a language which is more similar to English, right? Because you're gonna have
that's
different.
Probably true,
yeah.
But like, what's a language? What language would even be so similar to English that you wouldn't have that big of a problem? Because I can't think of anybody else that like is bilingual here, and it's like, oh yeah, those types of people always sound American after a little bit.
Maybe like Germanic languages.
Nah, German. Well, I mean, if like using German like itself, like German people
French
sound very German. French people sound very French. Dutch and Flemish. I don't know what Flemish is. Dutch people. I don't want to sound mean, but Dutch people like sound gay.
What?
So do like Norwegian people. Like they have like a very particular like I don't want to say flamboyant accent, but like if I think of like the streamer fuck, it sounds so bad to say because he gets bullied for it. I'm not trying to be mean, but like Zizarin or like Rotterdam, the StarCraft 2 caster, like they have a heavy accent where like you don't sound like a what?
With the thing with Zizarin, I 100%.
Yeah.
Do you mean like they're speaking like they're up in the clouds a little bit?
I don't know, like they sound like it's not like a normal like American, like you would assume something is off about them.
I mean, without being weird about it, Zizarin sounds completely like the typical, voice that you get.
And he gets harassed a lot over it too, which is really fucked up. Like, I actually felt so bad.
Oh my god!
This is like my chat is one of the only chats that he's like been into where people don't like shit on him because of the way his voice sounds. Like, oh my god, it's horrible.
I'm happy no one shits on my accent.
Man, not as much.
There's some people that says like, please don't get rid of it.
Well, because exotic girls are exciting or whatever.
Ooh. But think about my accent a year ago compared to now.
Yeah, you can make like improvements if things are like unrecognizable. But once you're at like a certain level of speaking, like when you speak to me and I understand you completely, like that's as good as your accent ever needs to get. Because it's not like I'm gonna correct you. Like, what did you say? Like I'll know what you're saying. You're never gonna so you don't need to like change it anymore because it's working because you're communicating at a level that I can understand.
Well, wait, but Melina, you speak English in Sweden before you met Steve, right? Like, didn't you grow up speaking English?
Her English was very Swedish.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't hear it? You don't remember what I sound like?
No, but like, I mean, well let me ask you this.
I understood it, but I couldn't really. It was like really bad.
I'm not saying you didn't have an accent. I'm saying you're saying your understanding of English, like when you were 17, 18, that was. When did you start learning English?
We learn English when we're like 7, but it's like it's like dog is this or means this, and
so your parents
house is this.
Do your parents speak English?
Yeah.
Do they speak English around you and to you?
No, why not? Like, why would they?
Well, I mean, I have some Swedish friends, and they definitely had that happen.
No, like, why would they speak like English around us if we're
Swedish?
Swedish?
I mean,
Unless
Like
that
with my
sounds American.
kid.
Yeah, but it's because he's been traveling and he went to high school.
So, like with my kids, I know for sure that they're going to speak English, obviously. So around the house, it's like almost entirely Russian for everything that's spoken to them because that's the one that we
But you
want them
don't
to
speak
learn.
Russian with them.
No, I don't. I don't. But everyone else.
No,
does.
but like my parents are not American, so why would they?
But they knew English, right?
Yes, but they didn't speak with us. No. He spoke Swedish. Like
Okay.
we learned it in school, but it was like not good. I remember in 4th grade or something, I think we learned grammar, but I didn't understand shit because it was like really hard for me to focus in school. So I missed a lot of stuff. I still don't know multiplikationstabellen. Can someone translate that?
Multiplication and division.
Yeah, I don't know that in my head. I can't. Like, yeah, I missed that. Yeah, so I had like a lot of troubles like concentrating. And I think when I was 12, I started to watch the TV show Glee, and there was no subtitles on that, so I just have to like figure out what they said, I guess, or like guess what they said and stuff, and that was really, really good. We don't dub our shows and stuff. Yeah, I watched that show. And yeah, I had to like guess what they said. I didn't understand season 1 almost at all, and then I just figured it out the more I watched of it, I guess.
I think
And
learning
then,
learning languages earlier is like such a huge thing. Like I can survive with Spanish much more than I can with Russian, and I've been listening to Russian for fucking 17 years now.
I wish I could find the thing that I originally read. Apparently, kids. It's not that kids can learn languages so much better than adults. It's more to do with the fact that adults can cope without knowing a language so much better. It's something that I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember reading this. Like, basically, the thing is that, like, if you're a kid, you're stuck in an environment, you basically have to learn the language or you're fucked, and that's it. But as an adult, you can get by without learning the language because you can Google Translate, because you can ask friends and family, because you can use context clues. Like, there's so many different things you can use as an adult to not learn a language that, like, if you were to just shove an adult into China with no phone, it'd be like, good luck. That they would pick up the language, like, surprisingly fast. They wouldn't be like, oh no, I'm too old now, I can't learn anything, I'm an idiot, I'm too old, goodbye world. Like,
because they get forced, yeah.
yeah, because you're actually forced to learn it.
And like if you go to a grocery store, you learn like what everything is, like what milk is, and like stuff like that. And it's just, I think you have to go to the country to kind of learn it. So yeah, I think watching shows was really good for me, and we don't dub our shit. Rest of Europe does. That's why they're so bad at it. Especially like Italy or like Germany.
If you have to learn, you learn faster as well. Like if you just get dropped off in another country, you're gonna start learning that shit quick if speaking English is not an option. That's another thing I learned for sure. Like faster than if you just like really studied. Like if you have no option except to speak this language, you start thinking. Like I remember when I was learning Spanish, I was like looking at a table and in my mind of like, oh, that's a mesa, not a table. So yeah.
I think when I started working at Hollister, I had a manager who was English, and he didn't speak Swedish at all. So I got kind of forced to talk to him. And then a half year later, I went to New Zealand, and then I was kind of forced as well, I guess. But it was like I couldn't really speak; it was really bad. But I understood everything, but it was really hard for me to speak it.
How the fuck do you make
And
an
I did it
axe, guys? What am I missing? Do I need fucking wood in my inventory?
I don't think in languages. I think in pictures and feelings. It's really weird. Do you think my English was really bad when we started writing to each other in January?
It's hard to say. I wasn't thinking of your English, like in like words. Good one, Dan. Like when you talk to somebody online, actually the biggest problem that I have is actually with. It sounds mean. I'm sorry to say this, but it's with fucking Brit bongers. When you talk to like English people, I hear them in English, like in American, in my head, especially because they usually type English really well. And then when you hear their voice, you're like, oh my god, you're a fucking Brit bonger. Holy shit. That's always like a
great.
big mind.
I have the same power-ups against this guy.
I like them so much. I love the accent. I think it's my favorite. I hated it as a kid. I thought it sounded super silly.
Yeah, everything that I read in online, I read it like in American, so I hear it in my head.
Steve, if you could learn 3 languages just instantly, okay, what would they be? In what order of importance?
Probably Spanish, Chinese, and then Swedish.
Really? Aw, then we could speak. Like, we can have secrets and stuff. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And whenever we're in a situation with a third person, we try to get out of it or something like that. And I just wanna say something in Swedish to you so that person doesn't understand.
No. So you would look
Chinese.
over at me, you'd say some shit in Swedish, and then both of us would look at the other person like, sorry, we have to go now. I think they would figure out pretty quickly what's going on.
No, but like you can whisper something. I don't know
Yeah.
when the person isn't watching.
Well, we could just whisper something.
Secret
Probably
things.
just speak in English, right?
Yeah, but they might hear it.
Oh, okay.
And they would say like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You spoke with each other. We said this, and it's wrong."
Gotcha.
I think Chinese is cool as fuck. Probably Spanish and like French. That would be really cool.
French is a wasted spell slot.
No, but like it
guaranteed.
just sounds so. Oof. It just sounds so nice. It's so beautiful. It's so nice.
I wish I could agree.
You don't think it sounds nice? And like go
Never
to
thought-
Paris and just like get around. Oof.
I don't know if it's just my early formative conservative years made me hate French people or what, but I don't like the like Middle Eastern languages do this too, but that sound, I just don't like it. It's like such a huge like turn off as soon as I hear someone be like,
Really?
oh, I hate it, dude. Honest to God, I think that
It's so hot. It's so hot when they speak English and they have the French accent.
No.
It's so nice.
I think that women with Russian accents or like any Eastern European accent sounds way
What?
better.
No, it's
100%.
not.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so
True.
much better.
Weird.
Sounds
French
Not
is so
menacing.
hot. You like the Emily movie?
Yeah, of course.
It sounded nice, right, when they spoke?
Nope, didn't like her accent. I don't have to like her
What?
accent just because I like the movie.
Good movie. That was a cute movie, right?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
You are ecstatic to watch America let you right now. Yeah, you're
Don't get the one, please. Or no, it's okay actually.
Hello?
Yo, listen, dude. Listen, we are only 1,000 subs away from 78,000, dude.
You don't understand. Just because I had a dream of being pounded in the head.
Well, Bob and Doug, just so you're aware, I'm being given the wrap signal. Doug, did you have something to say before we wrap it up here?
Doug, wrap it up.
Oh, no, sir. We're just happy to be here, and
That's really
Yo,
good.
the times, dude. You're supposed to get your opinion from Twitter trending blue mark check marks. True. Legitimately true. If that's the case. Shit. Excuse me for a second. Let me read Twitter real quick. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Okay. All right, guys. My point and my message has been revised based on Twitter. Give me a second here. Fuck all cops. All cops are bad. All cops are terrible. All cops are murderers. All cops are racists. All cops are sexists. All cops are the devil in disguise. Give me a second. Let me mute stream real quick. I think I hear a noise.
Is somebody here? Hello? Oh fuck! I better call. Who's gonna save me? That makes me feel better off stream, since no one that pays me can see this, and I make money off those little idiots. Hello, 911. Yeah, can you please send one of those really tall, strong gentlemen that that carry a gun? Yeah. I need his help. Someone might be inside. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Oh, hey there. Yeah. I don't know. I heard a noise. Thank you so much for saving me. Thank you. Thanks for checking it out. Oh, your card in case someone comes back? Your personal cell? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll call you if anything happens. Thank you so much. All right, bye. Later. Oh, hey guys, what's up? Yeah, just had a fucking, I just had a pig come through. Fuck those guys. They had no fucking right to come in my house. Are you kidding me? I fucking called him just to give a complaint. And then he said that he needs to come see me now. So he came over and he just came in. He barged in. Fucking disgusting. And better than that, he gave me a fucking business card. That's assault. He touched me with his card. He extended it out. That's assault. Fuck all cops.
Dude, this beat is so... The fuck did I do? This beat is so good vibes, dude. It's such a good...
fucking opinion.
I better get used to that, dude. I just gotta get used to that. That's just such bullshit, dude. This beat is actually. All right, so
There's no way that happened, dude. Damn.
I know the games, aren't really similar, but could you say that chess and checkers are like sister brother, maybe like adopted sister, adopted brother?
Oh my god.
That is my least favorite comment.
Oh my god.
People always ask that though.
You just
So it's
you're
okay.
apologizing right now, Shane.
You know what's crazy? Now, this is 100% anecdotal and probably projection of the people I dealt with in my life at parties. But so back when I was younger, we used to go to like Persian parties. And once in a while, right, my parents had friends that, like, I didn't really know or I didn't know their kids, so it was awkward, right? This kid, it's crazy because right now he looks like this. This kid looks like the kid at the parties that you'd go there, like, say what's up, but he wouldn't let you touch his PlayStation or his controller, and only he played. And you had to watch him. That's what he looks like to me. I don't know why, dude. That's what he looks like to me. There's 2 emotes on Twitch, okay? They're FFC, BTTV stuff. And you have... I mean, it's on you, right? At the end of the day, I'm sure you'll go hang out with the other side, the other crews, the more normie sides.
I wanted to hit this.
And, they'll convince you otherwise. But I'm telling you right now, just trust me. LOL W is the way it goes. That's the way to go. LOL W is that, 30-year-old Scotch sitting there, right? Class grabs that, right? And then you got Keck W. Keck W is that plastic bottle that the dude that's already blacked out drunk and pissed himself's grabbing while he's grabbing the girl that, is also blacked out drunk and one of her fucking tank top sloops is hanging down with her titty out, right? That's Keck W. Trashy and terrible. So just trust me on this, okay? Just trust me on this. LOL W. Only LOL W. Do not be fooled by other chats. I'm telling you. Keck W, hey, it's big in other places, but I'm telling you right now, listen. I'm telling you. What can I not use? Well, you can use whatever you want, but Keck W is for clowns. LOL W is just, it's for the OGs. So, yeah. LOL W. LOL W is the way to go. It's better. Keck W is just, yeah. Keck W's are mostly just weebs. Yeah. Just because I had a dream of being pounded in the ass.
Oh, really?
I was aroused when I woke up.
This is the clip that you guys chose?
It was fucking hot.
My first introduction to Trainwreck is this.
Bear hugged me.
Well,
face against the glass.
All I have to say
that doesn't make me gay.
to Trainwreck is that I have many single gay best friends if you're interested.
Just because.
That's all I have to say. I will wingman you if, you're too shy to go on the gay Tinder, because I know it's scary out there. That's all. Okay.
I ain't gay. That's number 1. Number 2, if I was gay, I need a wingman. All right, I'm going in. You understand? 3, shy. You just watched a clip of me telling you about my dream of getting pounded in the ass live on stream in front of 10,000 people. Believe me, it's the last thing I am. Okay? And 3, no, that was 3. And 4, I'm not gay. Dude, these guys didn't see E-Rob back in the day. E-Rob looks fucking great. Back when I first met E-Rob on Twitch, bro, he was just fucking like, his lazy eye was even more lazy. It was dripping all the way down. We're talking droopy from fucking Mickey Mouse down, right? He was drunk every stream, just pounding beers. And honestly, the part that I'm surprised no one mentioned was he wasn't even drinking beer. He was drinking Keystone Light, which is pretty much the equivalent of me pissing in it, right? So he looks fucking good compared to those days, dude. I was just thinking something, guys. Real quick to pause a little vibe here. Future keeps saying sign language. I was thinking about this. Wait, do you think people who are like deaf or mute that like speak sign language or whatever think their hand jobs are like blowjobs?
I remember like Zelda and like Star Fox and a whole bunch like the parts where you have to mash buttons like super fucking fast. And, like, there's no tutorial on it or nothing. Like, you just gotta fucking do it. One of them, you had to press, like the A button, like, super fast. And I could not get past this part. And then
it's because it didn't have aim assist.
Dude, do you remember the Metal Gear Solid one?
Come on, baby. We said at the same time, T. That's a sign. Come on, baby. Come on. Case Harden, Blue Gem, Stat Track, Factory New. Oh, Stat Track!
Stat Track!
Minimal wear!
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
shit, huh? What are the chances of that? If this is the case, when I'm cross-legged, my shit's hanging down there. You understand? This thing might as well be telling time. It's just tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. You understand? So at the end of the day, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Thank you.
What Tyler's saying to me makes a lot of sense, and it's actually kind of unlocked something in me that made me realize maybe this is why I don't love the cross legs thing. Because like I said before, I have a dick limit because above all, I'm a ball girl. And this is not something crazy that I'm saying on this stream. I've talked about this before online. It's been very public. I am above all a ball girl. Like, I love a tight sack. So for me, when the legs are crossed, the sack is suffocating. So I assume that all dudes with crossed legs have a loose sack. So when you cross your legs, you're letting me know the status of your ball tightness. And I know what I like. I don't need you to take your pants. Like, I know that you have a loose sack. And I need the firm. Tyler, listen to me. I need the firm sack.
What you're saying,
that's right up in between.
You've been lied to. You've been lied to. When was the last time you worked out? The last time we could go outside without dying from the zombie disease. Should I take roids? My honest opinion, no. I don't think anyone should take roids that's underneath the age of 30. That's my opinion, though. I think it's the biggest mistake you'll make. Not to mention, make sure to make good use of your ball sack, right? If you're having active sex, make sure to clap some good pussy with that ball sack. So it ain't gonna be there. You never work out. You never work out inside, bro. I don't know, bro. You see my Instagram selling those fucking meal plans where you can get this ripped for just under 2 weeks for under $89.99 a month? Yeah, bro, check it out, man. Are you depressed? Are you sad? Are you fat? Well, no worries here. Look at this body. Does it look steroided out? Yeah, but it's not. This is all natural vegan. You can get this body with just eating once a day and working out once a month. Swipe up. Check out my meal plan and workout plan. Yeah. Why be depressed when you can be just happy?
That edit is really good.
Oh, it's such a nice one. That is such a nice knife. Oh,
Don't get a 3.
man.
Don't
Dude,
get a 1.
I told you when it's least expecting it, bro. Like, I was on the phone. Panicord knife fade.
Now that you're defending the ball argument, I feel like you have a loose sack.
No.
We got old Sacky McSackerson over here.
First of all, I can prove your theory of me having a loose sack wrong, and the entire chat already knows why.
Prove it.
Because I took steroids for fucking 2 years ago, and my ball sack is firm, tight, and it's ready to fucking clap cheeks. You understand? That's 1. 2, I'm not mad. My voice is just deep and I get energetic, and a lot of people confuse this with mad, but that's because they're used to soy boy voices. But hey, you only like guys with figure skating legs, so I guess voices don't matter. 3.
No, figure skating balls.
Yeah. 3. All right, I'm gonna drop this on you. 3. The only dudes that have tight, nuzzled ball sacks, they lied to you. All of them had to have taken steroids. They had to have had some sort of testosterone therapy to make their ball sack scrunched up into their fucking goddamn cock shaft as if it's the winter of 1964 when it's negative 16 degrees. You understand? It's just scientifically not possible. The body has a natural method when it releases the balls and it pulls it in. You understand? This has to do with temperatures and shit like that and different things like that. You understand? So this idea of a complete tight sack is most likely an indication of steroid usage. Thank you.
If you actually want to fix this, you need to reduce fear on both sides. Best way to do that is to make becoming a cop a lot harder and pay a lot more. It really should be one of the highest paying jobs in society ideally.
What a stupid fucking opinion.
I bet you were up all night rewatching Jake Paul vlogs, you silly goose. I know it's addicting. Did XQC or Miskiff go offline?
You know what's funny? Yo, Trade, all your stories are like Game of Thrones, bro.
They start off slow, then the middle's kind of aight, then the ending is trash. Yo, that shit.
Holy shit.
Hey.
He has a family, dude. Just chill.
Hey, welcome to my stream overall, except the whole thing's trash. Okay,
damn.
Realistically, as I was saying,
It was fucking hot. Okay, dude.
The George Floyd video, guy murdered by police yesterday. No, I didn't watch that. In my opinion, I think that police should have all police should have body cams. Like, I have no problem for my taxes. Like, if they want to charge me an extra percent this year for like paying for body cams, they do. Jeez, wait, so they had a body cam and they killed this dude? Jesus Christ. Like, every police officer I've encountered, or a lot of my friends who have encountered, who by the way are not all white, has been relatively polite and reasonable and kind and helpful. There are a lot of men out there that become, and women out there who become police officers, and they genuinely want to do good in the world. And every time one of these jackasses pulls out their gun and they fuck somebody, every other police officer is also taking the same bullet. Because that increases the fucking tension between the police officers and the people. Now, in my opinion, what I think they need to do is that if the police really want to stop having this happen, they need to be much more strict on like internal investigations and making sure that this kind of shit is punished. Because I think the real problem isn't necessarily that the cop does it, it's that the cop does it, then they go on vacation. That's the fucking problem. Like, obviously, like, yeah, like, I can understand, like, a cop, like, freaking out. And, like, I get, like, you're in a life or death situation, and sometimes, you know, that fight or flight kicks in your head, and you do something that you shouldn't have done. Like, I get that. But, like, after that, I feel like there needs to be a conversation of, like, what happens whenever that happens. But they strangled them for minutes? Okay, well, then I think they should probably go to jail. I think they should go to jail for a long fucking time. I think if a cop does something out of malice, that it's determined to be malice by a court, I think that it should actually be even worse than if a normal citizen does it. Like, a 1,000 times worse. Because they abuse their power on top of that. Like, almost like, it's the same as like a hate crime, right? Like, a hate crime makes the crime even worse. I think it should be like a police crime in the same way. Yeah, I really, really don't like that. Perhaps you shouldn't struggle. Well, yeah, but like the thing is that like there's a very big, like these police officers have training, and yes, I do think that like you should obey the cops, you should comply with the cops, you should do what the cops say, you should not try to resist arrest, you should not try to run away, and in doing that, you are making a mistake, and it should not happen. But the idea of somebody resisting and then you choke them out, you have to have a better way of handling it. There's no way that that's what they had them do at the academy. There's no way that if they asked their police chief before that happened, their police chief, assuming he's a good guy, is probably going to say, yeah, that's what you should do. No resistance. Well, then that's even worse. I mean, then that's what I'm saying. They should go to jail. 100%. 100 fucking percent. 150%. Like, it should be a non-question. Like, yeah. It's disgusting. Like, because again, they put every other cop. The thing is, like, once that happens, like, then people, like, don't you think people are going to be more likely to try and kill a cop if that happens? So they're putting other cops' lives on the line by doing that. It's disgusting in so many ways. Most cops aren't bad. It's a problem with the institution that allows it to happen. I know that. I fully understand that. And I think that the cops should be the ones that are the ones. It feels almost like the cops are like their own faction, you know, and like they're not the people. And like cops are civilians. Like the cops aren't military. Like they're supposed to be civilians. Let me see here. Does the officer kill them and leaked his address? Well, obviously I don't agree with doxing. I think that I don't like vigilante justice. I think vigilante justice is not really justice. It's more or less people letting out their anger. And letting out your anger is not always justice. I don't agree with that.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't like vigilante justice at all. I feel like one of the biggest problems that like like a lot of like cities have and like places have is the fact that like a lot of the people that need police the most like them the least. And I think that a very important thing is making sure that the police officers earn the trust of those communities And I don't think that
I agree with this point. I don't know about no vigilante justice though, but I agree that bad cops make everyone else look bad and increase tensions.
I don't think that the government goes. I don't think they do that. I don't think they care. I think they just expect the trust. And, like, you can't just expect that out of people like that. I don't think that's fair for you to do that. If I was the governor, like, this is, like, just a random idea. Is, like, I would have it to where, like, every time, like, a police, you know, a police, like, I guess, like, training group of them would, like, graduate, I'd have, like, a public event where, like, the people could come and, like, meet their policemen. And it would be, like, free food. And so you'd have people that would come for that. And it would have, like, the police become, like, meet the people that they're going to be helping, and also have the people meet the police, right? I feel like that would be a good idea. And, like, obviously, this is just, like, a random, you know, idea. Like, maybe this is stupid, maybe they tried this, etc. But I think, like, having more of, like, a personal relationship with the police is something that would be healthy for everybody. I looked at the picture of the fucking guy that got George Floyd, and had his knee on the dude's neck. This dude looked like he fucking, like, just bagged a deer. He looked like it was after he got done with a kill of, like, hunting. Like, that was the same expression on his face, the same pose, everything like that. No, it did. That's what it looked like. Listen. The guy's a piece of shit. I'm glad that he's fired. I hope he gets prosecuted.
Oh, is he fired? That's good. I didn't know if he was fired or not, but that's really good news.
100% feel that way. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean, like, there are some people that say that they should just, like, shoot him or something like that. I don't agree with that. I think it's very important that people get a just trial and that people are tried by a jury of their peers through the judicial system. Yeah, I think every single person should be, should have their own trial, and they should have, like, they should have a fair trial. Every single person deserves a fair trial, 100%. That being said, I hope he gets fucked. I really do. I hope that guy spends the rest of his life behind jail. And I think the reason why people are so frustrated at the police is that whenever something like this happens, the police protect the other police that do it. And I think that's why there's so much of a problem. Because if the police had immediately come out, like, they fired the guy, and so this is kind of an exception, and so they did immediately get rid of the guy. But I think the problem is that the police allow it to happen, and then they like protect the people from, like, the protect the policemen from, like, the negative consequences, which is something that I don't think should happen. And it just creates, like, kind of an us and them mentality.
All right, second
look
place.
at r/news. There are posts about the entire city rioting against the police. Well, the thing is, like, they fired the guy, so, like, I don't really. I feel like that's kind of the wrong decision to make, because if they literally just fired the guy, then how are the police not already kind of agreeing on it? He's not in jail? Well, they don't immediately have the trial. Like, I mean, the judges, you know, they have a schedule. You know, it will take some time for the trial to happen. It's not like this just happens overnight. Okay? Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. He should be in jail. No, I mean, like, the trial should be expedited. Just because he doesn't get the trial the next fucking day doesn't mean that there's, like, the police are okay with it happening. The police arrest the people. The police aren't even the ones that decide, I'm pretty sure, whenever the trial happens. So how's it the police's fucking fault whenever the court hasn't given him a trial? Listen, most police officers don't do stuff like that. And I think that it's unfair to paint all of the police officers in this negative way because of the actions of, like, a few select people. I feel like it's just stereotyping, and there's no reason to do that. And instead of doing that, it would be much more helpful and productive, because, like, we're not going to get rid of the police, right? Like, let's just kind of rule that out. Like, they're not just going to delete the police. So what are we going to do besides that? Like, how to make this better? And I don't know. Like, I'm glad this shit got recorded. Like, my dad. So, like, here's an example. Like, my dad told me this story. And, like, him and his friend used to go out and get drunk all the time. And my dad said that they took his friend over there and bent his ass over the fucking car, over the hood of the police officer car, and just beat the fucking shit out of him with the bats and everything until this dude was, like, bloody and everything. and he didn't even commit a crime. So, like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, obviously there are a lot of cops that do that. It's really bad. And I think that really it just has to do with more internal control. It's annoying to see how many anti-cop lambs are in America. Fucking stupid. Well, a lot of the people that are anti-cop are just trying to act like badasses. Like, oh yeah, I'm not a fan of cops, man. I'm a badass. I handle anything I want, man. I do whatever the hell I want. I can guarantee you, man, if you ever hear some weird fucking shit at like, 12 o'clock at night, you hear rummaging around in your backyard, I can guarantee you most of you pussy-ass motherfuckers are gonna be dialing up 911 crying, hiding in your goddamn bathroom with the door locked. Okay? Like, even if somebody came to my house and I had a gun, I'd still call the police. Because, like, if I shoot this guy, let's say best case scenario, I shoot him and everything's fine. Then he's gonna sue me and then it's gonna be a big, long fucking thing. Like, even if that happens, it's still not a good decision. Yeah, I mean, like, that's, like, such short-sighted thinking. What do you think about the riots in the U.S.? I mean, listen, dude. I see no better way to commemorate a person that's been unfairly killed by police than stealing a television from Target. That right there, that is the main way that I would protest police brutality, is stealing TVs from Target. Yeah, of course, it's fucking ridiculous. Right, you're dumb? Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, listen. If people think that I'm stupid for being against looting and stealing things, then that's fine with me, right? I don't know. Like, I don't feel like anybody really thinks that that's okay is a fucking moron to me. Like, I don't even really know what to say besides that. Yeah. Only a few steal the inevitable in riots? Oh yeah, well, I feel like only a few. Usually in most protests, you don't burn down auto zones. Usually in most protests, you don't burn down buildings. It's not a normal protest. Obviously, the government has to be involved and prevent that from happening. But other than that, obviously, it's a complicated situation. But I think that almost everybody can agree that destroying other people's private property is not a good way and an ethical or moral way to protest really anything. People taking advantage of the situation? Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? I mean, you have a lot of people. This is what's happened with like a lot of like protests and stuff like this, like all the time, right? Is you have some people, and like there'll be 100 people that are not doing anything wrong, and there'll be just a handful of people that want to go and agitate, and they want to go and start trouble and start fires and be violent. And those people kind of insert themselves into a movement that's otherwise, relatively peaceful, and then they use that movement to like further their own agenda, right? And that's obviously a big problem. Like burning down like a local business has nothing to do with it. So like I feel like that's completely indefensible, and I find it honestly disgusting that so many people are promoting it. Well, I thought about this for a while, right? And I realized, like, usually I feel kind of good to be an American.
This is a really bad round.
But recently, I've just honestly been ashamed to be an American, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I see the riots happening. There's like police brutality. All the coverage of it is by these multi-billion-dollar companies that have intrainaires. Nobody cares about the people. It's actually really bad whenever you break everything down. It could be worse. Yeah, I'm sure it could absolutely be worse, man. Time for communism. Well, I don't really think that a lot is going to come out of it, honestly. Like, the thing is that whenever protests and stuff like that turn violent, I think that a lot of people kind of just turn off their, they turn off thinking about them and, like, taking the protest seriously. And I worry that's kind of what's going to happen here. So I think that the people protesting, like the individuals protesting, need to do a better job, like kind of self-regulating and preventing the people that are actually committing violent acts and breaking the law legitimately and causing harm to people. Make sure that those people don't actually represent their movement. And you see the cops going under city to amp up the riots. If they're doing that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so bad in so many ways. I don't even know what to say. Do you think next year is going to be a better year? No, I think it'll keep getting worse and worse. I think that it's in news stations and like these other media outlets' best interest to stoke the flames and fires of any sort of controversy because it gets people tuning back into the news more regularly. So you're going to see more controversies kind of elevated and things are just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know like really what's going to happen at the end of it, but I do think that it's certainly a bad thing, man. And so, like, I told my dad, okay, this is good. I'm so glad I remember this. I told my dad that I told you guys the story about how they bent my dad's friend over the police car and beat the shit out of him. And my dad actually corrected me. He said they didn't bend him over the hood of the car. They took the door out of the car, right? They, like, opened the door and they put his arms through the door so he couldn't do anything, and then they beat the shit out of him with the batons in front of my dad. And so, yeah, it was actually even worse than I had originally thought. And this happened, like, I don't know, back in the fucking 60s or 70s. And I don't think all cops are bastards, but I think a lot of them are. And I think that the problem is that the cops that aren't bastards let the ones that are stay bastards, and that's what kind of indirectly makes a lot of them bastards. I think there's a lot of guys that go into the force, they want to do the good thing, they want to do the right thing, and some of them just get overwhelmed by bad people. But it's unfortunately the reality. But I don't think that all cops are bad. And I think that a lot of people that are saying that have never had to call the cops for anything. It's like, trust me, whenever you need the cops, they're not bastards, okay? The United States of America will be designating Antifa as a terrorist organization. Good. Everything that I've seen about Antifa has been fucking ridiculous. They're the ones that are burning down the buildings.
It is true.
They're the ones, whenever I look at the pictures
That's what you
of
hear
the
in the
riots,
news and stuff.
it's people that look like they're in Antifa. They're the ones that are causing the trouble and making the black people and the other people that are protesting and trying to help those people get fair treatment from the police. They're the ones that are giving them a bad name. They're the ones that are ruining it for everybody else. A lot of people don't like Trump. Okay, a lot of people don't like Trump. But I think even the people that don't like him can agree the stop clock is right at least twice a day. And I think this is a good decision.
What just
I
happened,
do.
dude?
Like, it seems like Antifa, like a lot of the stuff that I've seen about them, seems that they employ intimidation techniques and tactics. They cover their faces in public, and they get in big groups of people and
I just
intimidate
got
people.
kicked.
I think that should be absolutely, completely disallowed, and
Hello?
that's not something that should be present in a peaceful and a modern society. I don't think so at all. Cops do it too. That's right. And the cops that do it, they should be put in jail.
Dude.
100%. This isn't some kind of
What
like, oh, cops
happened?
are great, Antifa's bad. There's bad people on both sides. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are in Antifa that really don't believe in violence. But the problem is that there's enough of them that do, that make it an organization that allows it to happen. And in the same way that people believe that all cops are responsible
Is there a
because
maintenance
the
or something?
good cops stand by and let the bad cops do bad things, I think that's the way that I feel about Antifa. I think they're both bad. They both need to be reformed and gotten rid of. If you initiate violence towards somebody who doesn't initiate violence towards you, you're wrong. 99 times out of 100. That's all there is to it. Like, if you need violence to solve problems, that's you are the problem. I will even go farther. Okay? I think that the people that are on social media who are promoting and facilitating the riots or any sort of violent activities, I think that they should have their accounts deactivated and possibly face charges for it. Yeah, anybody who's sitting there trying to, like, rationalize violence or hurting people, absolutely not. On any side for any reason. No, here's the thing. People can get mad all they want. This is what's right and what's fair. Being angry about something doesn't give you the right to destroy somebody else's property or somebody else's life or to harm another person. It doesn't matter what you're fighting for. Okay? You don't get to just decide that because you're angry or upset about something, you get to just destroy whatever you want. The rules just don't get suddenly suspended whenever you've decided that, you know, oh, well, this isn't fair, so I can just do anything that I want to do. It's so ridiculous and childish, I can't even believe it. They have to expect some casualties, the riots, send a message for the greater good. No, they don't. No, they don't. Do you think this is not for the greater good? You really think this is for the greater good? It's for the greater good. Oh, wow. Yeah, this was impossible for us to do, but we had to destroy businesses. It's just gonna make things worse. For the greater good. Yeah, well, we have to destroy and steal things from private stores
That's for, like,
because we don't like
ruined the
what the
display
government
capture.
is doing. Jake Paul releases, wait, what? Jake Paul releases a statement after being seen at a looting site. Go, go, go! Oh shit, oh my god, it's getting crazy. Oh. What the fuck? Oh shit. Where's he at? Just a random beating the shit out of it, dude. There you go.
Okay, I don't know what to do about this.
Where's Jake Paul, though?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Hey yo, give me a free cologne.
Wait, oh, that's not him.
It does, right? No, that's Logan.
Oh, Logan Paul?
Yeah, Logan Paul. Huh?
I swear to God.
I swear to God.
Yo, Logan.
Yo, Logan. Wait. Yeah, go.
Nigga, that's not Logan Paul.
What the fuck?
Oh shit! Go!
Jeez, dude. He was in the beginning with the mask. I didn't even notice it. More of Logan Paul's escapades.
Yo, careful watching those videos. Sometimes they say the F word.
Okay. I'm gonna come back in a little bit. I'm gonna
shit,
eat too.
There he is.
See you guys later.